Alright, today we have another tutorial. In this video I'll show you some of the techniques and maneuvers that I use for driving on dirt and what makes gravel roads so different from tarmac. Before we can even start, you'll once again need to borrow your mom's car and disable as much electronics as you can while still keeping the car functional. Luckily for this 2008 Ford Mondeo, it is super easy. All we need to do is remove the ABS fuse. And for this car, this is going to disable the stability control, traction control and ABS. But we also need to unplug the brake pedal switch because that's going to allow us to press the gas and the brake at the same time. And you'll later see why that's super important. And it's worth noting that some cars will get a bit angry if you start monkeying with the fuses and unplugging wheel speed sensors and stuff like that. So some cars are just more suited to this than others.
Medium left, medium left, medium left! Listen to my calls!
Alright, now that we have all of that out of the way, I'll first explain what makes gravel so different. And put it simply, gravel is more of a three-dimensional surface, I would say. So it kind of moves and deforms as the car goes over it. And let me show you what I mean by that. Okay, this wasn't the best example because the surface is really hard, but you can still see as the tires locked up, they dug into the gravel and moved some of the dirt in front of them. This is known as the bulldozing effect, and it is the main reason why driving on gravel requires different driving style.
This ain't asphalt, son, this is dirt.
And it's also the reason why at 100% slip, the car will actually have the most amount of grip. Whereas on tarmac, as the slip angle increases, the tires will actually start losing grip. Yep, that's Ford quality.
I know what's wrong with it. It's a Ford. You know what they say Ford stands for, don't you? It stands for fix it again, Tony.
Okay, as we wait for this to cool off, I'll mention another difference, and that is that dirt has a lot more inconsistent grip than tarmac has, and this is because
of the way it is.
You see these two tracks, they are a lot more like packed and
Can't remember the goddamn line.
They don't have these loose pebbles that you see on the sides and in the middle of the road. And this difference is also exaggerated if you drive on summer tires. So I really recommend you switch to winter tires because they just do a better job of digging into the dirt and they will have just a more consistent amount of grip. Okay, the first technique we're going to talk about is, of course, the so-called left-foot braking. This is going to be the most important technique you need for driving on dirt, and there are many different reasons why you should left-foot brake. For example, here we have an endless corner, and I'm just going to try to take it without left-foot braking, just using throttle. And you see, as I give it a bit too much gas, the car goes wide, then I let off. And it cuts back in and sort of loses grip. It's really difficult to stay on your desired line doing this, but if you just switch over to left-foot braking and keep the gas on, but also ride the brakes a little bit, we control the wheel spin with the brakes, and we can really modulate the gas and the brakes at the same time and keep the car perfectly on line. We simply have more control while still carrying the same amount of speed. Okay, for the next example, let's say we're going too slowly for a corner. So what we're gonna do is keep the gas on and add a bit of brakes to control the wheel spin. And to keep the car on the line. Okay, the next scenario we're going to look at is when you're going too fast for a corner and you need to slow down. And the first technique is going to be trail braking. And once again, we're going to do it with our left foot. So here we're going to brake hard in a straight line and trail off the brakes as we turn in. So once again, we're going to brake hard, and as we turn in, we're going to ease off the brakes. And once the car's turned, we can add some throttle to keep the momentum up.
We got flies all over the fucking place. Son of a bitch. Get out of here, you fucking flies.
Okay, I did mention this in my drifting tutorial, but you do need to be a bit careful with this technique, because if you don't release the brakes enough as you turn in, you're simply going to lock up the brakes and the car will go straight.
I reckon I'm going to give it a bit of the old Scandinavian flick.
Okay, the next technique we're going to look at is the good old Scandinavian flick. For this we're going to start on the inside of the corner and give it a big flick. This works well if you combine it with trail braking, as I did here, but you can also do it while accelerating, especially in a rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive car.
Oh, right. That makes perfect sense. Turn right to go left.
As you can see, left-wheel braking is kind of the basis of everything. And you might be thinking, if I have my clutch foot always over the brake pedal, how do I shift? Well, there are three main ways to do it. And the first and easiest method is to simply shift after the corner. So just brake, take the corner, and then shift. Okay, the second method, and my preferred method, is to simply switch over to right foot braking and heel toe. So here we switch over, heel toe. Once we have the car turned in, we will immediately switch back over to left foot braking. Okay, and the last method is to simply shift without the clutch.
I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying.
So again, we brake, shift without the clutch. And off we go. Shifting without the clutch is the more advanced technique, and I have played around with it quite a bit and never really gotten used to it. I think the main downside to shifting without the clutch is that you can't lock up the brakes. As soon as you lock up the brakes, you won't be able to shift, because when you shift without the clutch, you need to match the engine speed with the wheel speed, and if the wheels are locked up, you simply can't do it. Okay, now let's do something that doesn't involve left foot braking, and that's going to be a handbrake turn. So to do a handbrake turn, we're gonna turn in, grip the handbrake, clutch in, select the correct gear, and off we go. So once again, we're gonna turn in, then rip the handbrake. As the car starts rotating, we're gonna release the handbrake, push push the clutch in, select the correct gear, and drive off. Now I normally never really use the handbrake. I'll only use it for really tight corners like this one, or if I'm trying to turn around and do a 180. But honestly, even here, there's no real reason to use the handbrake, because we can set the car up for a perfect pendulum turn. Now for a pendulum turn, we're gonna trail brake, let the car rotate, and use this momentum to carry the car through the corner. What is wrong with this mirror? This is so distracting. Yeah, I think it's broken. Okay. But anyway, I think this pretty much covers the basics. So if you think I missed something or you have any questions, leave a comment. But that's gonna be it for now. Thank you for watching.